Hey, it's Dr. Hannah with this week's Hot Topic. Today I want to talk to you about reasons why your joints may feel more achy when the weather changes. So sometimes when it goes cold to hot or hot to cold, more particular when it goes from warm to cold, you typically notice that you're a little bit more sore and achy. So here are 5 reasons why that actually is the case. So the first reason is more based off of the barometric pressure. So when the pressure changes from either high to low or low to high, your tendons, muscles, and tissues expand or contract depending on if it goes from cold to hot or hot to cold, and that just causes pain. So that's one of the reasons why when you actually can feel the storm coming, it's just because your muscles and tissues are responding to that barometric pressure. The second reason goes also with that cold to warm theory, exposure to change theory. So scientists have done a lot of research that basically say joints hurt more during weather changes just because their joints are more exposed. So when you have the wear and tear on the joints, fluids and nerves, they break down more than usual. And then it just makes it really hard for those joints to actually respond quickly and effectively. So it's just kind of like you need to oil them a little bit more, WD-40, just because they have been exposed more and they're just kind of running down. The third reason is a blood flow theory. So in cooler weather, our bodies do this really cool thing where they try to conserve heat, and they want to just take all the blood flow to our more critical organs like your heart, your lungs, your liver, things that you can't live without. So things that you can live without, which are like your fingers, your toes, arms, legs, not that you want to live without them, but you actually can. So your body will divert blood flow to those areas just to conserve heat and energy. So when you're colder, you don't necessarily have as much blood flow going to those areas, and that can cause a little bit more stiffness and pain because there's not a lot of blood flow to kind of get them going. The fourth reason is a mood theory. So when everyone knows when it's rainy or cold or wet or just blah outside, you don't really want to do anything. And psychologists have linked the study between your mood and how your joints feel. So if you're in a bad mood, you are actually more receptive and heightened to pain. So your body and your brain will kind of be like, oh, okay, well, let's turn up the pain receptors, really just because it wants you to get moving. But that's what happens when you're in a bad mood. So people who are more depressed, they have more aches and pains. So sometimes that's a psychological part where traumas, thoughts, and toxins can affect your body. And that's where the thoughts come into play, where if you're in a bad mood, you're just going to be in general in more pain. And the last reason is probably the most common reason is just the inactivity theory. It's basically when the weather goes back to the mood theory. When the weather's bad, it's crappy. What do you want to do? Just sit on the couch, watch TV, catch up on those movies that you haven't seen. And the inactivity just causes joint stiffness and pain once you eventually want to get up and move. So inactivity is probably the most common and the biggest reason why people have achy joints when it turns to colder weather. So that is all I have for you guys this week. We'll see you guys next time.